What's good, people? Hope you're all well. What a weekend of football. A lot of people are going to be happy on this stream, man. I can't lie, but there's going to be a couple that maybe ain't. But we'll get into it. Bit of a different one tonight. Tobes is stuck in traffic, but he said he's now moving and he will be joining the stream at some point. We're going to be dipping in and out tonight. We've got a couple of new guests. Dan United is back from his holiday with. Is that a bit of a suntan, bro? Like, what's happening there, man?
It's the freckles, mate. It's the freckles. It's incredible. I've got colour for once. Stunning. Stunning.
It's looking good, man. Did you have a good time, yeah?
Loved it, mate. Absolutely loved it. Honestly, any time away from Lawless is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Missed you, Lawless. I'm joking.
You missed him, really, man. You missed him. You
would have missed the new intro. That intro looks sick. That's incredible.
Yeah, mate. I've got to try and upgrade, man. I'm no good with tech. I mean, listen. I need to speak to Dan Lawless if I want tech, but I'm happy with that one. That's a step forward for me.
That's
Trust
decent,
me,
mate. Like that.
No, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Lewis is up in Milan. That means there's only one person I can get on, man. Goonie, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me back on. I'm all good. Smiley times recently, bruv. Get me? I'm starting to see good football again. Just wanted to say, bruv, Dan Lawless. That ball trim is looking as smooth as eggs, bruv. I salute it, my bro. Yeah, bald lives matter. I know, Grizz, your bald lives matter as well, innit?
Bro, I'm just looking around and I'm feeling so comfy here because it's not only the heads, right? I'm seeing Dan's beard, right? And I would aspire to have his beard. Like, I'm telling you, I'm trying my best, right? We've got kind of the same shape going.
Yeah,
my God, I'm in some great company here with the heads and the beards, man. I mean,
sounds like it could be a good name for a show, Beards and Baldies.
Wait, don't give me ideas.
Here we go.
Don't give me ideas, Dan. Don't give me ideas.
Is that so you can be on both teams, Lawless? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Which one are you going to be, man? Which one's you going to be, man? I tell you.
No,
listen,
bald first.
Listen, Grizz, big up to yourself for coming on, man. I do appreciate it. I know it's not even an easy weekend and an easy week. It looks like for Liverpool. It seems to keep going, man. But big up yourself for coming on, man. Much appreciated, bro.
No, pleasure, man. Always a pleasure, man. It's football, innit? You win, you lose. You know what I mean? You still got to talk. You still got to live. I'm living.
Listen, it's one of those, man. Lawless, 2 wins. First time West Ham have had 2 wins in 10 months, bro. Is this like Champions League back on and chest is out again, man? What's happening?
We're back. Season starts now. It just feels good to win again. I'm just enjoying it. So yeah, nice. So it's good vibes at the moment. Good to see Dan back. Obviously, conveniently comes back when Man United win.
Hey, I practically begged to come on the show last week. I was told to have a week off.
Yeah, well, you went and got that colour, looking like a sausage that's been in the frying pan for 10 seconds.
A sausage with your head, and you're going to me. Jesus
yeah,
Christ!
Come on, now. I'm not seeing this tan. Like,
mate, look at the ginger. I go red and white. That's all I've got.
Yeah,
literally, my guy. That's all I got.
Well, listen, I'm glad that the love is back, man. Now that you're back, Dan. Listen, I'm gonna start with Grizz because listen, Grizz, I feel personally, bro, like the last couple of days, and Lawless is to blame for this as well. He's another one who's blaming everything as to why Arsenal won this game. VAR, Michael Oliver, Liverpool this, boo-hoo, sympathy Liverpool. I feel so sorry for Liverpool. They're all so done. Liverpool rubbish, Salah and Trent. Oh, my God. Not one time has anybody said, fair play to Arsenal, by the way, for putting on a great performance. Not one time have I heard out of Dan Lawless' mouth or Tobes, any of these people, fair play to Arsenal. They played well. No flowers given at all. It's all Liverpool crap. Let's all laugh at Liverpool. VAR have been kind to Arsenal. Michael Oliver is crap. Like, come on, Grizz. Like, I know you. I've known you for 3 years. I know you're a Grizz Tetter for a reason. I know you're appreciating Arsenal, right? But I want to hear it from you because this is a Liverpool fan who's I think is level-headed, and you've always been a fan of what Arteta's doing. So I want to hear your thoughts on this game as to why you thought Arsenal won this game, bro.
You just basically set him up. Like, say this, Grizz. I want you to say exactly these words. I'm going to tell you everything you need to say. Go away. Take it away.
And that, Lawless, is why you're not the host, my friend.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Listen, Of course, when someone asks you to speak about the other team that beat you, it's always a good deflection for the team that's lost. So don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. I'm more than happy to praise lavish praise on Arsenal because we were so dire. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. That was a very, very good game of football, especially in the first half. You came at us fast, got that goal. Well, first and foremost, you got to big up your coach, man, because not many people. I know we didn't get a chance to meet before the game. We both got stuck in traffic. But when the teams came out, obviously all eyes were on the Tomiyasu situation. Like, is that tactical or is it injury because of the other guy, Zinchenko and Tierney? So it turns out to be tactical. And then you see that they execute it perfectly. Mohamed Salah was nowhere to be seen. And that was obviously to Tomiyasu, but obviously the thinking behind Arteta's plan, and Tomiyasu executed it properly. So you got to give Arsenal credit. Look, everyone knows Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like the situation, the state they're in. We're playing brain dead football right now. Stupid. It's absolutely stupid what we're doing. We can't run, we can't move, but we're still trying to play the high intensity game with no legs, with no power in our legs, with no energy throughout our team. So look, and it's the total opposite of you guys. I tweeted it straight away yesterday. I said it. The younger, fitter, more energetic, and seemingly more motivated team won today. We can talk about decisions all day long, and I whoever said those decisions were right is right. Wrong, sorry, is wrong because that was a penalty. Obviously, it's come out that the VAR, you know what I mean, they ain't a crime if you don't get caught. You know what I mean? He didn't get caught. There's no crime. There's no cameras. All right, fair enough. But what kind of bollocks is that in 2022, right? One of the the camera that was supposed to get him, he was out of picture for that.
Out of shot. Yeah.
Out of shot. But who cares? If I'm going to start talking about decisions like that being my primary concern for Liverpool, I'm delusional. So do you get what I'm saying? If that was a one-off game and we would, I would have complained about the decisions all day long. But the fact that we're 10th and the fact that we're playing like 10 games into the season or 9 games into the season and we are where we are, those decisions are the back of my mind because I'm a realist. And apart from that, as I said, Arsenal were hungrier. Basically, it's a culmination of Arteta's plan, what me and you spoken about 2 years ago. I said, Dan, I see something. He was like, no, at the time. And rightly so, you was. Rightly so, because you know Arsenal far more than me. You watch your team far more than me. You know what you've seen and what your expectation levels are, right? Far more than anyone else, right? No outsider, because if outsider tells you they think you're mocking. Behave yourself, you're mocking us. Yeah, we're Arsenal Football Club. But it's fair. It's fair to say that Arteta vision for the way he wants his team to play is come to fruition now. Of course, it's 10 games. It's nothing. But nobody could have expected the pace, the intensity, and the levels that you're showing right now. Because without doubt, even though yesterday I think we gave you the hardest game. I know you got 100. Beat by United, but you controlled United. You just couldn't finish against United. No, you actually controlled the game. Yeah, we gave you the hardest game and you beat us, fair play. But at the end of the day, you've beaten Man United, you've beaten Liverpool, and you've beaten a couple of other bogey teams that people are talking about. Every week is a new test. Let's see Arsenal this week. And you're overcoming every test. So I'm ready to give flowers to Arteta, you know that, because I think he was under huge pressure going into this season. Huge pressure. And he started off like a man on a mission.
Listen, I think you're being fair there, man, and I think you're being kind. I know the Liverpool will come back to in a minute. Goonie, let's come to you, man. As a neutral, I know you weren't willing to big up Arsenal because you and Troops have got it going on. But when it comes to what you thought of the game from a neutral fan base, I think from a neutral's point of view, surely, and this is hard for me or Gris to comment on, that must have been a wicked game to watch as a neutral, man, in terms of the quality. I thought Liverpool in parts played really well, and I thought Arsenal, when they needed to, really turned it on, man. What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, you're quite right. As a neutral, I really enjoyed the game. Obviously, the result didn't quite go the way I wanted it to go, but still, it was enjoyable, entertaining to watch. And if there's one thing that's clear, is that Arteta has come a long way. And one thing that is being shown as of now is that the patience is being rewarded, because the football that's just come together just looks excellent. Like, for example, against Liverpool, in terms of like the level of pressing and retain and trying to win that ball back, that was what Liverpool was 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. That level of intensity and press. And like every time Arsenal go forward, not just in this game, you lot look like you're actually going to score. I'm actually like, when you're in and around that box, you give that ball to Gabriel Jesus. He's such a chaotic player when he goes in there, because even still, his close control is so good. He still manages to beat players in the tightest of spaces. And you've just got that extra bit of, you get me? You've got that extra bit up top as well, man. Midfield wise, Thomas Partey, I feel like he completes you quite a bit. He allows your other two to go forward and do the jobs that they're good at. I feel like Xhaka has definitely benefited from that. But I will say, though, fair play to Liverpool, because I'll say that Grizz is right. They did give you a difficult game, more difficult than Man United did. I feel once they got a bit more control of that midfield is when we started to see them get their goals in. But another thing that we really didn't see over the past few seasons, or even past decade, really, with Arsenal, is that resilience and the willingness to bounce back, which is something that we've seen from you recently, and certainly through that game, that's what we saw. So fair play to you lot. It's got to be said. Fair play, man. It was a deserved win. Couple of refereeing decisions where I thought, the penalty, for example, I might have to see it again, but to me, it looked like a penalty. The situation with Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. I thought that should have at least been looked at, because it was dangerous play to me, but it wasn't looked at. A card wasn't given. But these are all things that, you know, you're looking to the referee for decisions. And I'm a firm believer of, you should never look at referees for decisions. It's always the better footballing team that should be doing their job to win the game. Don't look to the ref for decisions. But excellent, entertaining game. Fair play to Arsenal. Also fair play to Liverpool, considering, you know, not the best start to the season. Confidence isn't all there. So to go there and perform the way they did at Arsenal, fair play, man.
Yeah, man. And like, listen, I know you've got to shoot off, and hopefully you get to come back in a bit, Goonie. But I wanted to ask you before you do shoot off, man. Like, honestly, I listen to you and I listen to Troops. Obviously, Troops is my guy, and I feel like this Arsenal team, it's beaten Spurs now, it's beaten Liverpool now, and we still hear people say, yeah, they've got to have a big team. Tottenham aren't a big team. The Conte's playing negative football. Liverpool all over the place. They're not a big team. Like, so we basically have to play Man City until we play a big team. Then is that like the way it is now? Because for me, I think that we've proven against two good teams now at home that we can take them on and we can take 3 points. So just feel we deserve a bit of credit for that, man.
You definitely do. And if anything, just outside, you know, the stature of how Liverpool have been performing over the past few seasons, is that they've always had that mental edge over you where they've consistently won games against you. So that's another hurdle that you've overcome. So that, in terms of a psychological aspect, is a big thing. So props does need to be given to you, but at the same time, you also have to look at it in context. You've beat a team that's in 10th place. We've got to call it for what it is and where they are. After 10 games into the season, almost, they're in 10th place. But still, no game is easy in the Premier League. And quite like I said, you can't disrespect Liverpool. They've been there and thereabout, won the title, been there within 1.2 points of winning the title. So it's still an achievement for you, man.
Listen, fair play to you, man. Listen, I know you've got to shoot at some point, man. So feel free to jump.
And hold on. This one more thing. This talk about one more big team left. What? Who said this? Yeah. Are you lot not seeing what's on my chest, fam? Yeah. You lot still got to play us twice. Yeah. Don't get too confident, Arsenal fans. We might do you. We might.
Listen, you might do us, and I know what's gonna happen. Aubameyang's gonna score, bro. It's clear. Everybody knows this can happen, man. I'm just gonna say it now. Aubameyang will score against Arsenal this season, and will he celebrate?
I hope he does it and runs up to Arteta and just gives him the shush.
No, I had Lee Gunner on yesterday, and he said what will happen is Aubameyang will score. He'll do a flip in front of Arteta, and he'll get a Guendouzi mask out.
That would be beautiful.
Can you imagine? Gee, man, unreal. But yeah, mate, Chelsea. Listen, I really like Graham Potter, man. I really like Graham Potter. I was gutted when he went there, and I think already he's got best out of Mount, Pulisic, and Havertz, who, let's be honest, was stinking out the place not long ago. I think the three of them have looked good. Conor Gallagher in the last 2 games for me has looked good. So, yeah, man, I'm liking what Potter's doing. And what's mad is that he's actually not even set his way on a formation yet or on a team selection yet. He's just doing bits like he does with Brighton. He never really is set on a formation. He just changes little bits and pieces. And Yeah, man, I've been impressed, man. Early doors, but that is what it is. Early days, and there's a lot that can change, a lot that can go right and wrong. But Chelsea, I think it's time to be excited with Graham Potter, man. I don't know your thoughts, Goonie, on that.
I'm not getting too carried away. Definitely not. It's still early. Less than 5 games played by the manager, so a very, very small sample size to have like a bigger picture overlook sort of thing. But you've only got to go with the positives that's been thrown in front of you, and certainly I've seen that. Just down to the basics, Graham Potter is actually playing players in their preferred positions, strong positions. Mason Mount, like you said, ever since he's dropped into that deeper role, he's benefited from it. 2 brilliant performances. In a row, excellent performances. Before those performances, we were perhaps questioning, does he need to sit down on the bench for a little bit? What's going on with Mace? But he seems to be getting it together. Conor Gallagher as well, not being used in the role that he was being used under Tuchel in that pivot, is actually being used in a midfield 3. Then there's actually seemed to be some kind of cohesion between him and Mason Mount. There's an understanding that's forming between the 2 players. So it's good to see that. Obviously, you've got Reece James, who is an elite wing back, in my opinion, has been under Tuchel, continuing to show it under Graham Potter. It's exciting times. Aubameyang, when he's playing, he's finishing his chances. It's good times, man. It's good times, but definitely I'm not getting too carried away. My expectations are still the same, which is, if we get top 4, excellent. If we don't, I understand it. I'm accepting it as a transition new manager as well. So for me, I'm just taking each game as it comes. Quite similar to a lot of you Arsenal fans when the title talk comes up. Literally each game as it comes. I'm not going to speak too soon to see what happens.
What Arsenal fans have you been talking to?
Bro, you need to talk to Zar. Listen to what Zar say. No, Zar's actually been out there from early in the season and he said that Arsenal winning the title. Troops is just saying, I'm taking each game as it comes. So is Ty as well. So quite a few of them, except Zar's just gone full out and said, yeah, we're winning the league. So
yeah, I mean, didn't he say that they was like invincible in the preseason or something like that? He was celebrating going invincible in preseason. He was a mad one. So yeah.
Zara is a mad one though, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? But listen, I think personally, most level-headed fans are keeping it real. They know the title ain't gonna happen. You're always gonna get the deluded bunch, man. You're always gonna get deluded bunch. The same deluded bunch that go nuts about VAR, just like now Liverpool are doing. So it works both ways, man. It works both ways. Goody, I know you got to jump off at some point, man. So you go when you need to, brother. And
I'm not gonna leave the studio. Just put me in backstage because I should be back in time before the Champions League game, and I'll jump straight back on. Yeah,
calm. Nice one, bro. All right, man. Nice one. Listen, I need to talk to Dan United first, then I'm going to come to Lawless. And I want Lawless to talk to Grizz, not me, about what he thought was so outrageous in this Liverpool-Arsenal game, that VAR. And so let's see if Grizz agrees and see where we're going with that one. Because I'm not talking to Lawless about this one, man. Because yesterday on Matisse's channel, it was just like, nah, done and dusty with this talk. Dan United, what was your thoughts? Did Liverpool deserve a little bit of credit for the way they played? Were they shocking? Were Arsenal decent? How did you see it, man?
I think for me, with Arsenal, I think with Arteta now, I'm looking at a manager that for the past 2 years has had excuses, and now he's starting to have answers. When he's playing these teams, he's having answers. When they're coming and they're performing like Liverpool did, but Liverpool had nothing to lose yesterday, let's be honest, didn't they? Liverpool come and absolutely went for it. That's all they could do. They're having a terrible start to the season, but Arteta has got nothing but answers now, and I think that's the most important thing for any Arsenal fan to watch. Who's that in the background, man?
Oh, it might have been me. Wow. Sorry, did it sound like an earthquake or something? Sorry.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I called it straight away yesterday before the game started, and I know Grizz has probably heard this several times, so I don't want to go over it too much. But you knew the first second in that game that they were going to attack Trent. You knew they were going to attack Trent, and I've got to be honest. I mean, you know my thoughts on Trent. I think I'm not even going to go there, but it was so simple yesterday. It was so simple. I watched it and I was like, this is just getting worse. At what point? I'm a United fan and I've had to have the banter about Maguire week in, week out. This last 18 months, I watched Trent and he's so suspect. And I think if any team can look at the right back position and think, do you know what? That's where we attack today. Why isn't Klopp doing anything to stop this? It's happening week in, week out. Grizz, you watch him every week. I don't. Is that the feeling with the fans? Do you go there to every game and think, fucking hell, it's going to be they're going to attack right down our right again today?
Yeah, look, it's pretty obvious that he's not the greatest defender, but he's the pros versus the cons. Our last 5-6 seasons will suggest the pros outweigh the cons. He's enabled us to win every single trophy as possible. I don't think none of our clubs or none of your clubs have done that. Just putting it out there. He's 23 years old. He's just 24 yesterday. So he's not done a bad job. I get what you lot are seeing in highlights. As you guys have said, you don't watch Trent like I do. But it's very easy to label. He's out of form. He's playing poor. He's not great defensively. So I want to put that out first before people say, "Oh, how are you defending him?" I'm defending him over his 5-year career as opposed to his bad moments. So I'm not going to judge him on yesterday's first half, which actually the first goal wasn't his fault. He was 4 against 1. It was the midfield had vacated the midfield. They had 2 passes cut through us. He had 3 plus the ball player, 4 against 1. There's only so much he could do in that situation. The second, very much so. But as I said, I'm not going to judge his career, which is so early, like into his career. He's a kid still. People forget that. All right, 24 now. So now he should be learning now he should be becoming a better defender. And there's absolutely no doubt he can. And he will. If he doesn't, you're right. If he doesn't, it will be a problem for him, for his career, and for Liverpool. And he will be ridiculed forever. But I think it's very early to sort of write him off and say, yeah, that's it. He's a problem. Like you mentioned Maguire and all these people. They're 30 odd or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He's a kid compared to that. I keep telling people he only started playing fullback 5-6 years ago. Before that, he was an attacking midfielder, and you can see why.
That's what I was going to say, Chris. I thought for the last, as I watched him progress coming onto the scene, he did burst onto the scene and he did break records, and he was stunning to watch. But
the records, Dan, do you know what it is? The records are not normal. What he's broken. No, like everyone says, yeah, he's broken records. They're if you look at his records, they're out. Like Gary Neville and Rio Ferdinand, 2 Man United legends. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Two people, in case people think, the Liverpool Man United rivalry starting already on Dan Potts show, but 2 absolute legends of Man United and pretty much 2 of the best defenders this country has produced in the last 20 years or whatever, have spoken about this guy. So when they banter aside and jokes aside, they speak about this guy being special. And the reason why he's special is because of his talent. Now, no player is perfect. Every player has pros and cons. His cons suggest that they can be coached out of him. They're not technical flaws in terms of his ball playing, his striking or his skill set. It's his positional sense. It's his concentration sense. These things can be coached, especially if you're 23, 24, and you've only been playing this system or this position for 5-6 years. People perfect this, but like all your great fullbacks and defenders became elite at the age of 27, 28, 29. This guy is just starting. People just need to relax. And I get it. I get the chance to, when you get the chance to boot someone like him and he's part of a club that not everyone likes or whatever, rivalry. I get it. You stick the boot in as much as you can. But sometimes the way I look at it is just hold back, kick back. He's young. He'll get better. There's no denying. Denying he's poor defensively.
Would you say, this is something that I looked at him as a younger player coming through, and I always thought his natural progression would be to just end up pushing up further up the field, and it just feels like it's never happened.
All depends on the coach. Every coach wants their fullbacks, wants their defenders, want their midfielders to play a specific role. So, for example, imagine someone like, someone like a Conte came in. He wouldn't want Trent at fullback. Yeah. So he would want someone who can defend and first and foremost be pragmatic. Yeah, it all depends on coaches. Pep might love him. Do you get what I'm saying? So different coaches have different perceptions of what they want their fullback to do. They don't want their fullback to be like Klopp's. He openly says it. He goes, I know he's got deficiencies in defensively, but what he gives me and my team and what he's given my team the last 5 years, I'm okay with, people. And that's the way it is. Ten Hag, every coach would have their ideas on what they want from their players, whether it's in midfield, centre back, or striker. That's the way I look at it.
Fair play, man. Fair play. Listen, Lawless, I got to bring you in, man. But first of all, big up Tobes. Thanks for jumping on, man. I know it's been a dreadful journey for you. You good, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Sorry about this, man. Honestly, how is a fucking station catching fire in the middle of the winter? But
Don't, man, don't. Let's not go there, man. I'm glad to see you, man. Thanks for jumping
Someone
on.
said Toby's always eating, and it's true. I just realised that that's actually true. He's always eating.
So what? Am I not meant to eat? I don't understand.
No, it's an interesting point.
This is a record. This is literally 12 seconds. 12 seconds, and it's starting.
I know, but it's offensive. I didn't even say anything offensive.
People who are watching me on YouTube should know my eating schedule now. Like, I don't eat until after like 1 or 2 p.m. So sometimes when I'm doing lunch streams with Matisse, I'll eat, and then the next time I'll eat is in the evening. So like, let me lean, man. Let me lean. Yeah.
Toby, you're looking quite sharp as well, sir. I must say, looking quite sharp.
You are looking smart, Tobes. I must admit,
Very
you are
sharp,
looking smart.
sharp.
Anyway, Lawless. I want you to do exactly what you did with me yesterday with Grizz, and I'm interested to hear what Grizz is saying about this. I said that I thought Gabriel's handball was a handball, but I thought everything else was pretty much there. I thought that there was question marks over Saka and Darwin Nunez. We spoke about that. The penalty was a penalty for me. I don't think Thiago's won the ball. If it's a soft penalty, it's still a penalty. Come on, man. What was so disgraceful yesterday from these calls that you were talking
agreed
about?
on the handball, and you've said there's question marks over Saka.
I've already agreed on the handball. I already have agreed on the handball.
You've agreed on that, and you've just said question marks over Saka's offside.
No, I said you said there was question marks over Saka and Nunez.
There is. Grizz mentioned it
definitely
earlier.
offside.
Right?
Cameras.
So what was so disgraceful about yesterday then that you had was so unbelievable. This is Arsenal. Unbelievable. They didn't even play well. Unbelievable.
I never said that.
No, but I'm not going to get involved. But I'm just going to say, but that's 2 goals. That's 2 of your 3 goals that shouldn't have been.
What, the handball?
The handball.
Oh, sorry, penalty for us.
They should have
and
had
a goal
penalty.
for you.
Yeah, I agree with the penalty. That's definitely a penalty, man. 100% that's a penalty.
That changes the game.
The penalty, that's definitely a penalty. 100%
If they get a
that's a
penalty, it changes the outcome of the game.
So you think that the only reason Arsenal won that game was because VAR was on our side?
No.
To do about where we played.
This is the thing, Potts, right? And I don't want to hear you weasel out of this. It's not me. You take responsibility for your fan base, because if it had been Arsenal,
here we go. I always get this from Lawless.
He's getting close to the camera. He's getting close to the camera.
He's close to the camera, and he's giving it about my fan base that half the time I disagree with.
Yeah, no, I'm not having. You always duck and dive out of it, yeah. But this one, you've got to answer for this, because if it had been the other way round, yeah, we would never ever have heard the end of it, right? Conspiracy, Arsenal conspiracy. They don't want us to win the league, right?
I agree with that. Facts.
We hear all of this, but then all of a sudden, when it goes your way, all of a sudden it's, oh no, all these decisions were right and we deserve to win. I didn't say
I didn't say all the decisions are right. I didn't say all the decisions are right.
No,
I think they got the handball wrong. The fan base at Liverpool are doing exactly what Arsenal fans do when they cry about VAR. So it works both ways. That's all I'm saying.
We got to point.
The technology will go with us and it will go against us.
Yeah, because a lot of your deluded fans think there's a conspiracy against Arsenal. They think that the great powers that be are manipulating referee decisions to keep you down, and that's why you've been down. So we have to highlight when things go in your favor to say, wake the fuck up, come back down to reality. Shit goes right for you as much as against you. So I will point that out, to the max. Yes, you played well. I'm not going to take that away from you. Let's not.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to hear from you.
You know what? And I have to be careful, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans are sensitive, right? If you say anything critical, they lose their shit. And you know what I mean? They will hung from the trees, right? But, and I'll say this, obviously this is an Arsenal, this is a Liverpool team in crisis. So we have to take that into account. I'm not saying you didn't deserve to. I think a draw, to be honest, a draw would have been a fair result in that game. Let's be real. I don't think you deserve to lose the game. I don't think Liverpool deserved to win. I think a draw would have been a fair result. I think there's a lot that you can take and be positive about and enjoy. Like, by all means, Arsenal fans, enjoy this. Enjoy this, because it may not last. Same way Spurs, when they were top of the league in December under Mourinho, they enjoyed it and it didn't last, right? All I'm saying is, let's not get carried away. We just get carried away all the time with Arsenal. Every time there's a bit of a run, and this run is different like any other run. You've looked brilliant.
But you know what, Lawless? I think your point is right. They do get carried away. a lot of their fans get carried away. But I just find it so cheeky that you're saying you're telling them to sort of keep a lid on it. You finally started to win games, and all of a sudden the race for top 6 is back on.
It's actually shameless. Shameless.
Your hypocrisy knows no bounds. Like, you're telling them to chill out, but you think because you've beaten Fulham and a severely out of form Wolves side, both at home, and a rubbish Aston Villa side away from home.
First two wins in a row in 10 months. Did you not say?
Do not agree with this guy because he left early yesterday. What did I say after he left? I said I'm not convinced by Man United. I'm not convinced by West Ham. I said I'm still not convinced. However, you were writing us off, and what I said is, look how many points we are off top 4 now. I didn't say we're getting top 4, but to say that we're in a relegation and we're this and we shouldn't be on the race for Europe, how can we not be in a relegation?
Nobody said you were in a relegation scrap, so stop lying for one.
My point was you went too early.
No, we didn't go too early. And I'm going to double down. You're not getting top 4. You're not sniffing top 4.
We're not getting top 4. I agree.
So then stop saying we're 4 points off top 4. It doesn't matter.
I know, because the point is, Tobes.
It doesn't matter. No. Because I'm tired of you telling lies about what we said about your club. We said you are not going to finish in the top 6. That's what we said. We didn't say you're in a relegation scrap. And then you're telling us, oh, we're 4 points up top 4, 5. Nobody cares because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get top 4. You're not good enough.
We're not getting top 4. I agree, but it's top 6. What I'm saying is, you wrote us off to top 6. You wrote us off. We're on joint 10th.
I wrote you off.
Liverpool.
We're the same. It's not writing us off. It's looking at things logically.
Where Liverpool getting? Where are they finishing this season? Where are they finishing? Liverpool.
I was bantered for saying that they might struggle to get top 4. I was bantered.
Let's ask Chris.
We're on the same amount of points as Liverpool, and you're telling me that we can't finish 6th.
And I am telling you,
you're not better than Liverpool.
I'm not saying we're better than Liverpool. What I'm saying is, you have no grounds to say that we can't finish 6th.
Yes, I do. You're not good enough to finish 6th. I'll give you 6 teams that I believe will finish above you this season. Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal. That's 6 teams.
Yeah, you believe that. That's fine, but don't give you 15. Act like it's crazy for me to say that we will get.
I didn't say it's crazy. I said you're not getting. I said you're not getting top 6, and you're saying act like it's crazy. You've got a beef. You've got a beef with me saying you're not getting top 6.
So it's how you say it. It's as if it's ridiculous to suggest we get.
Why? 6. It's not. I said you're not getting top 6. You're not good enough to get top 6.
You're too.
Why is that?
This is the thing. This is the thing, man.
Why is that a ridiculous statement to say West Ham aren't good enough to get top 6?
Tobes, one sec. This is what I don't get, Lawless, right? I'm going to come to Grizz because I know he's got to shoot it a bit, right? But this is what I don't get with you. You'll sit there and you'll slate Tobes for saying that Tottenham can do this. You'll slate me for saying Arsenal can do this. But yet when we say, oh, I don't think West Ham will get 6, it's outroar. It's outrage. It's like, how can you not think that? But you can sit there for weeks and weeks on Matisse's channel, on this channel, and tell me that I know it ain't going to happen. Calm yourself down. Don't get so excited about Saliba. It's only 2 games. It's only 4 games. It's now only 9 games. Come on, man.
Here's the difference, right?
Oh, God. There's a difference.
You and Tobes put your chest on it, right? You talk in absolutes. I don't talk.
You don't put that pigeon ginger chest on it as well. No.
Wait, what?
You don't put that pigeon chest of yours out when it comes to.
You say ginger. I'm not ginger.
You look ginger.
I'm not ginger. I'm not ginger. What is ginger? I used to be ginger. How can you say ginger? Add colorblind to dilute to the list of blindness that Tobes has. But what I'm saying is, I say we can. I think we can finish top 6, right? And I will acknowledge that some of the deficiencies in our team.
And I think you can't. Why is that? Why is that an issue?
You put your chest on things. You speak in absolutes. You speak in too much absolutes. You're like, you're not getting this. You're not doing this. And
because you're not.
I'm not having it.
Because you're not.
We weren't beating Sevilla. And we beat them.
Did you win it?
Did you win it? You didn't win the freaking competition, Lawless.
Let's not go down this road.
No. No, let's just hold the phone. We're not talking about the Europa League.
Did you win the competition?
I'm
Yes
not.
or no?
I'm
If
talking
the
about
answer
a
is
game.
no, game over.
I'm not talking
It's
about a
done.
competition,
Finito.
Tobes.
Finito. I don't
I'm
care.
talking about a game.
I
I'm
don't
pointing
care.
out why you speaking in absolutes can come back to bite you. Because
But
you
when
said,
you speak in absolutes, it's okay.
when do I speak in absolutes? I never speak in absolutes. I don't speak in absolutes. All I said is Arsenal fans chill.
Hostage.
Whoa, oh, this is
Hostage. Potts. Who's the other? Who are these other
Man,
players? Oh no.
Agued.
What was the absolutes I said about Kostic? What was the absolutes?
Broya was another one.
This is what he does. He twists things. He says I put words in his mouth. He puts words in my mouth. I never said West Ham are getting Kostic. I never said any of that. And for Potts as well to sit there and say, "Oh, you're getting carried away, da da da." I'm not getting carried away on West Ham, and I'm telling you, don't get carried away on Arsenal. Like Spurs fans shouldn't have got carried away under Mourinho, right? We've been here before. Relax. Right, I'm going to be relaxed.
It's always a concern for our welfare with Lawless. It's always a concern for our welfare. This is what makes me laugh. I'm trying to look out for you. I don't want you to go down this road, man. Listen, I need to get Grizz's opinion, man, before he shoots. Listen, Grizz, let's calm her a bit because these two will be at it all night, man. Trust me. I want to know the situation with Liverpool. Because a lot of people are, I brought this up and I don't like to start comments like this, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm hearing this a lot, man. Grizz, just take it that Liverpool are finished. Your club's done. It's dusted. It's delightful, blah, blah, blah. What do you say to these couple of fans? Because for me, I think that's way too early to be saying stuff like that, man.
What do I say to these type of fans? I think Toby will tell you I don't say nothing. I don't speak to them. I just say thanks. And I move on. I don't speak to. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the message.
Oh yeah.
I don't speak to people that talk like that. But finished what? Finished from the title race? Yes. Finished from every other competition? No. Have we got recent track record in the other competitions? Yes. We've won 2 out of the other 3. We reached the final of the other one. Can we see issues with the team right now? Yes. I'm just going to try to be real as possible. Title race gone. Top 4. People are saying we're no way finishing in the top 4. People forget only 2 seasons ago we had no centre backs and we were 10 points away from the 4th place team with Phillips and Kabak and Reece Williams. I don't know if you guys have heard of these players even, right? Reece Williams, Nate Phillips, Ozan Kabak.
Phillips, yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I'm not everyone who...
No, you're right, though.
Was he the one that was on loan at Kidderminster like a couple of years before?
Kidderminster Harriers. Yep. Yeah. So we had these guys at centre back, 10 games to go, 10 points behind. I think it was Chelsea or someone, I can't remember. And everyone said, there you go. Say again?
Chelsea. And you got
I think it was Chelsea. Chelsea and
West Ham.
West Ham and Leicester were in the
No. Chelsea.
Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, about West Ham.
No, but they were in there, innit? I'm saying, like, everyone was like, yeah, these guys, these teams are ahead of them. We managed to win with those guys. We've had it worse. People, especially Liverpool fans, do you know what it is? You sometimes get what's the word, man? The sense of entitlement takes over, and you think, yeah, do you know what I mean? We can't be humbled. We can't be bad. Well, we are right now. You have to accept it. Is he the right man to take us through this patch? And it's a 9-game patch. We very easily could have drawn yesterday, and then it wouldn't have been as bad as it is. Or we could have won the way we started off. But the facts are we're 10th. The facts are we're playing very, very poorly. These are facts right now. I can't deny the facts. The facts are we've picked up another 2 injuries today. 3. Trent's out. Luis Diaz is out. Joe Matip's out. But this is part and parcel of it. I'm not going to make excuses anymore because that's the part and parcel of side of football. But if you're asking me if we're going to finish in the top 4 ultimately, because that's our aim right now, as mad as it sounds, I still think we can finish 2nd. But I also am not deluded enough to think we can finish 5th. That's the madness of this season. It's a mad, wild season.
Grizz, just a quick one, mate. So when obviously a couple of years ago when you had that season with all the injuries, I kind of felt when that season was happening, there was nothing really said about it. We knew what it was. It was a blip. This season, there just seems to be so much more noise about there, doesn't there? There just seems to be so much more noise, so many more questions being asked, not just of the fan base, but of Klopp as well. So I just wanted to get your take on that.
Reason.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, do you think that these are the right questions that need to be asked now, or do you think again this is just another blip and we move again, or what?
No, I agree with what you're saying. This is a different reason. The questions definitely have to be asked and should be asked. I'm not denying that, because this is, and one of the reasons why questions are different is because it's the same team, it's the same set of players, it's the same squad, and they're 2 years older. 2 years worth of more injuries, niggling injuries, whatever. Now they're picking up more and more injuries. So yeah, questions have to be asked. Like, why are they in the position they are now? And then again, it comes down to his loyalty. Maybe he thought last season was so amazing, he's going to give them one more chance, even though the majority of the fan bases wanted more midfielders, wanted new, fresh midfielders, because his game is based on midfielders being fast, mobile, agile, durable, and none of them right now, none of them are that. Not one of them is fast, quick, young, mobile.
Yeah.
Not one of them. Everyone lacks one of those attributes, and that's quite a damning indictment, man. But I think we'll settle down again. I think we'll climb up the table and we'll finish in the top four. I'm still very confident of top four. Titles finished. I'm not going to sit here and think, yeah, titles ours, but confident on top four. And then we know cups are cups. All about the draws, all about lineups in a draw, what your team's playing. Like imagine we're playing Spurs and they've got an important Champions League game, maybe, things like that.
Yeah.
Cups, anything can happen. But in the league, conceded that 2 weeks ago. We just haven't got the energy. We haven't got the.
Do you think as well, Grizz, like just quick, man, because I know you've got to shoot, but just quick, man, this Van Dijk thing, I think is huge. And I'll tell you why, man. I think Trent is a lot more vulnerable with a poor Van Dijk next to him. I think that affects Mo Salah's game because Trent's not doing his thing. And I think that is probably why over the last 4 years, we probably have underappreciated Van Dijk, even though people have been rating and raving about how good he is. So I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but this was reminding me of the Klopp without a Van Dijk a few seasons ago. But you've got a Van Dijk, he's just not there or thereabouts at the moment. The injury to me looks to have ruined him. I don't think he's come back the same player. And I think now we're looking at, do you remember when Klopp bought Alisson and Van Dijk and it's like, wow, this team look okay now. But before it was leaking goals, couldn't quite get it right. It's looking a little bit like that to me of a few seasons ago now. Would you agree, or is that a bit harsh?
No, I think there's elements of doubt there. I agree with you. He had a horrific injury, and having that horrific injury when you're 30 doesn't guarantee you're going to be the same player. Yeah, he's come back, but the only that's not the only problem I was going to say. The problem is it's not only Van Dijk who's having a stinker. The problem is Fabinho is in the shittest form that I remember Fabinho as. I don't know what you guys think of Fabinho, but last 4 or 5 seasons, he's one of the best DMs around. He's playing absolute pony right now. Henderson's legs have completely gone. Salah's not playing great. We've discussed Trent. Matip alongside him is not playing great. Robertson's been in and out. Robert's been in and out. So it's not just a Van Dijk issue, which obviously we're looking at because he's so hyped and talked about. But again, when you get a chance to dig on him, you dig on him. I get that from rival fans. But it's 5, 6 of these guys that have seemingly aged together. And it's kind of the people, Toby can block out his ears because he's heard this so many times from me. So, but for the rest of you guys, I always talk about the last season being so traumatic from a human point of view, human element point of view. Like, forget they're not robots. They played shut your mouth, innit? They played every single game possible at the most elitist level. And they, in the end, ultimately missed out on 2 of the main titles. And that can take a lot out of you, man. And it's a like, I always compare it to, like, imagine you're revving up for an interview and you're gonna get, you got like big boy interviews, and then you don't get the job. You're disheartened, right? I don't know about you guys, but different people take it different ways. Sometimes you don't want to go back to work. You don't want to go for another interview. You just take your time away from it all These players are the same, man. And then they had a shortened preseason, not even a normal preseason, a shortened preseason, and back on it. It takes its toll. It takes its time. They're dog shit at the moment, absolute dog shit at the moment. But I think we'll do enough to get into the top 4 this season. And then the question will be asked. I agree with all you lot. The question will be asked about Klopp. Can he do it again? Can he revitalize his team? Can Van Dijk get back to his best? Can Mo Salah be not only a 5-season wonder? Can he become more than a 5-season wonder?
Grizz,
5-season wonder.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Grizz, just a quick one, mate. How many players do you think need to be replaced
3.
in that team?
Three, minimum of 3 players instantly, like instant first teamers, not squad players, like starting 1 in January and then further 2. And I'm talking about 1 position, all in midfield.
Yeah,
because
that's what I think. I
told Toby yesterday. I asked all the rest of the big 6 lot as well. I said, guess how many players we bought in the last 8 windows in midfield? And everyone was like, oh, must be. I mean, I asked them the names. It was only Thiago and Arthur Melo. 2 players, and Arthur Melo, forget him. Dud signing, just anything, just awful. Emergency. Yeah. Thiago in 8 windows. And you want them to play the same way that Jurgen Klopp wants them to play, which is, I'm sure you guys will have faced us in the last 5 years and thought we're the nastiest team to play against. We're horrible to play against when we're at our best. Like, we've smashed all of you lot in the last 4 or 5 years, like badly. And now we're the easiest. You guys must be thinking, when we got Liverpool next, come on, we want to capitalize on this Liverpool. We want to smoke this Liverpool. That's how it's looking at the moment. It's peak.
Man, I think it's fair play to you though in terms of being optimistic. I think top 4 is fair, man. I don't think anybody is guaranteed that at the moment. The way the season's
that's
going.
What I'm saying, Dan. I literally said we could finish second, but I wouldn't be shocked if we finish 5th. I wouldn't be shocked. It's mad.
Yeah, it is mad. It is mad.
But listen,
it's literally City and then who knows whatever. But Grizz, always a pleasure, man. Thanks so much for jumping on.
Wicked.
What a guy. Nice
meeting you, Grizz. Nice meeting you all, man. You know what I mean? Big up. Nice one. Take care.
Grizz.
All right.
In a bit, Grizz. In a bit.
Can we replace Grizz with Lawless? Can we just swap them?
Replace Grizz with Lawless. Grammatically, I think you've had a bit of a faux pas there, Dan. I don't think you quite understand.
A faux pas. Bit bougie language for you, Lawless.
Listen, I'm multilingual. Right?
What other language can you speak?
Go on, give me an example. I need examples.
You can speak Dagenham.
I've been learning some Japanese.
Okay, give me a sentence in Japanese. Yo,
that's my chart, my Kana chart.
You going to Japan?
That wasn't my question. Give me a sentence in Japanese.
What sort of sentence? What do you want me to say?
Say West Ham are shit in Japanese.
Listen, I don't learn the curse words, mate. I don't learn the curse words.
Okay, how convenient.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lawless, right. let's stick with you. Okay. Man. I want to touch on Tottenham and Chelsea next because I know Goonie wants to go watch the football, man. So listen, I want to touch on your thoughts on this Chelsea side right now because we touched on it a bit with Graham Potter. I think he's picked it up a bit. I know it was comfortable against Wolves. I mean, when West Ham beat Wolves, it was amazing. But when Chelsea beat them, they went past them. Now I'm only pulling your leg, man. But when it gets to with Chelsea. With Chelsea though, man, I really like Graham Potter. I think he's going to do bits. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I rate Graham Potter. I think he's a really good manager. There's sort of doubts. There was doubts for me on how we would do going into that Chelsea side because just everything with the club at the moment seems so all over the place, seems so disorganized, and there's quite a few players there that need replacing. So it was I think the timing of him joining seemed to be like, okay, we might not necessarily see the fruits of that signing straight away. Like, that's one you would have ideally wanted him to have a full preseason, get his signings in, all of that. But, so far, again, we don't go early, but there's some signs there. He's seemingly getting players that have been poor for a while, potentially performing. I mean, Havertz has been scoring goals. I don't like him. Tobes might have to get a new nickname for him if he keeps that up. Mount seems to be back to form. So, you got to give him that credit. But it's how can he sustain it, over the course of the season and just improve and get better and get better. But the signs are good so far. So yes, I like him, but unfortunately, I'd like to see him succeed, just not at Chelsea. That's the only thing. He's at Chelsea. So if he does good, he's Chelsea are going to do good. But still a big challenge. Like a few of them players, they've shown they can do it in games, but consistency has been a big problem for a lot of players there. And Aubameyang is obviously, we're going to see. I rate Aubameyang. I do not agree with the sentiment that was on this show last week that Martial was better than Aubameyang, or I'd have Martial over Aubameyang. Do not agree with that. Aubameyang all the way, but it's just
I don't know. If Martial was fit, fully fit, I can't say I can't agree with that. Fully fit, but we don't see Martial fully fit.
Let's not go there, man.
No. I'm just saying fully fit.
He tries to say I'm deluded, by the way. Let's just put that out there. Yeah, what he just insinuated. But
I'm not saying Martial's quality. I'm just saying I don't. I think you've got to look at a fully fit Martial, but we don't see it.
Do you think Aubameyang's quality?
I do. Yeah, I rate him. I do.
But you just said what's his name's not quality. So then how can you say he's better than Aubameyang?
Who did I say he's not quality?
You just said that Martial's not quality.
I said he's not had the chance to be quality because of his injury record.
Okay.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, you can't make a statement.
Christ almighty.
If he hasn't had the chance, then we can't. That shouldn't even be into question. Then whether people would have him over Aubameyang because he's not proven it consistently.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying it's fitness thing with
so even if what I'm saying is take away his injuries, say he stays fully fit all the time, Aubameyang stays fully fit all the time, I'm having Aubameyang. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Both fully fit, no injury prone, having Aubameyang all day long. It's just going to be interesting slotting into this Chelsea side. He seemed like a bit of a panic buy, like he wasn't signed for this, specific play styles.
He's already off, isn't he? From what they're saying, he's already off, isn't he?
What they're saying that
PSG.
Apparently that was a rumor. We're not entertaining talks. Apparently, so
yeah.
That's that. Do you know what that is? That's because Tuchel's gone, and he was the main reason, and they're trying to make up a rumor that he's not happy now, man. But I can't see that. I think Aubameyang will be quality for Chelsea. He'll score goals just like he did, man. Before I come to you, Goonie, I want to quickly come to Tobes because I think personally, Tobes, Potter has already in the first 3 games done what Tuchel couldn't do for a while, and that's actually make Havertz, Mount, and Pulisic look half decent in those couple of games. And Conor Gallagher, is that way too early to be saying wow, or is this looking like maybe Potter could get something out of these players? Are you still they're dead to you? Like where are you standing, man?
They are still dead to me. Way too early. And I think that you'll find that Thomas Tuchel did manage to get some quality out of Kai Havertz in spurts, and maybe not so much Pulisic because he's a sickener. But I think it's too early, man. I have no doubt that Graham Potter will make Chelsea better and the football will be better because he's a type of coach that pays meticulous attention to that kind of stuff on the football pitch, and he uses a variety of systems. He's not someone. I think the benefit that you get with a Graham Potter versus a Thomas Tuchel is Graham Potter is not afraid to flex his approach. And I know Thomas Tuchel would change his approach during games. Like he could go from a 3-4-3 to a 4-2-2-2 and stuff. But Graham Potter will play a variation of formations just to find the best balance and will somehow find a way to make the players fit into what he wants to do. But I think it's way too early to say that he's doing things that Thomas Tuchel hasn't done with some of those attackers, because let's not forget Thomas Tuchel won a Champions League with his team. Thomas Tuchel was flying with Chelsea in the first half of last season as well. And the teams that Graham Potter's played, okay, the Milan win was impressive. They played really well against Milan, but Milan were half-baked. Let's be real, in terms of their team, and even then, take away Milan from it. Because I don't think any of those attackers scored against Milan. I think it was Reece James, Aubameyang, and I can't remember who scored the other goal. I can't remember. But if we focus on the game where Kai Havertz and Pulisic have scored, they're scoring against one of the worst teams in the league right now in Wolves. They're dead on their feet. They've got no manager. Their defense is in 6s and 7s. They got injuries up to their eyeballs in their attacking spots. Neto injured again. It's like, I don't really think that's the right litmus test for people to then say, oh yeah, Graham Potter's all of a sudden got Kai Havertz and Pulisic playing. We know that Kai Havertz can bum bash. Pause. And what I mean by that is we know that he can bash up poor teams, bums, dead teams, bummy teams. Do you get what I'm saying? We've seen that before. We've seen him score his brace against Norwich away from home.
Is Man City a bummy team?
Pause.
When was the last time he scored against Man City?
Champions League final.
And how many years ago was that?
You said he only scores against bummy teams.
I'm talking about in the league, Gooney.
You didn't give us.
Why does it matter if it's the league? If it's a top team, it's a top team. We only make that distinction about Europe and the league if it's not against the top team.
Kai Havertz has been dead for the most part.
He also scored in the Club World Cup and I believe Super Cup
against Palmeiras with like 10 men.
They won us trophies.
I'm not saying they didn't win you trophies, but I'm talking about. Listen, Goonie, and this is why I have to ask Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans hide behind the they won us trophies shtick. Yet these guys aren't consistent. You can't rely on them. You're not happy. They won you all these trophies, and yet you're not happy with their output. Your fans are constantly moaning about how poor the attackers are. Why is that? It's because for the most part they're not as good as you say. And
you're not lying. I tell you, Shay, you're not lying. You're not lying. But what I will say is that he does score in big games. He does.
Oh,
but he's not as consistent as I need him to be. It's not enough for what's needed to be winning Premier League titles and that. He's definitely got to put in that work.
All I'm saying is this, Goonie. All I'm saying is this. Beating a sorry Wolves side 3-0, yeah, with no manager, does not tell me Graham Potter has completely rejuvenated these attackers. Seeing them maintain a good level of performances, not just output, a good level of performances over an 8, 9, 10 game stretch. In fact, F all that. Give me a season. Give me a season where you can actually see a reasonable amount of good performances.
I agree.
And then we can talk. I'm not hearing it with Wolves. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing it for beating a tie.
No, I don't disagree. And it's been less than 5 games under Graham Potter, so that's no sample size to be making any kind of judgment as to whether it's been successful or not. He's still got a long way to go, and he's still got lots to prove. There's still a lot of unknown elements that he's got to show us. Can he handle big egos and big, players that have won big competitions? It's not been long enough to see. Can he handle playing at the highest level and competing week in, week out? That's still an unknown element. I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying, Tobes. But there are positives that I've seen early into it so far. Again, that even whether it's down to the most bare bones basic thing, like playing players in their position, it's helped us improve. You get me? And for just going by his past reputations, he's always like taken what he's had and he's elevated them up a level. You saw what he done at Brighton. He done that. Although I'm not going to say I followed Osterson's when he was there because I didn't, but you saw what he did against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? That's not something small. That's what I mean. That's not something small. So it just remains to be seen whether this potential and this, floor raising that he does with these clubs can translate to the highest level of football, which is what we need to see.
And I want to reiterate, this isn't an indictment on Graham Potter. I have no doubts that he would do a good job at Chelsea. What I'm saying is it is simply too early to deduce whether his style has got the best out of underperforming players that we've seen with 2 separate managers in the past with Chelsea. Kai Havertz has had 2 managers. Christian Pulisic has had 2 managers, and they haven't been consistent enough for Chelsea. So I'm just saying, give us more than 1 game against a really poor side right now before we start making these statements. That's all.
Listen, man. Goonie, I know you want to shoot, go watch the game, man. So I'm going to love you and leave you. But just before you do go, in terms of priorities for Potter in Europe and the league, what are you thinking, man, this season?
Again, like it's just going back to what I said. Right now, I'm at 1 game at a time. In Europe, I definitely want to see us going through to the knockout stages. But obviously, that's bare minimal. So, but I guess that's 1 step at a time. Now in the league, again, I've got to see. It's still very early. It's been less than 5 games, very small sample size to make any kind of judgment. So it's just about here, just keep winning and doing things right. I think that's a question you should probably ask me come around January time. Then I might be able to give you more of an indication as to where I'm at.
Listen, I think that's fair, man. Listen, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go watch the football. It's up to you, bro. It's all good. Always a pleasure having you
I
on.
want to watch football, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got it on
so
right here. But big up all the lads, man. It's good to meet you. Good to meet you, Dan.
Nice
good
to meet you,
Board Lives Matter, Dan. Good to meet you, Toby. Another Board Lives Matter member.
Yeah, man. I ain't cut my hair. They're cooking me in the comments.
Yeah, I've seen it. They're frying you in the comments, fam.
It's fine, man. It is what it is.
It is what it is, my bro. And Dan, as always, thank you for bringing me back on the channel.
Nah, always, man. Always welcome. Come on. You take it easy, Goonie. In a bit, bro. Tobes, question. Will Tottenham fans be convinced with this style of football if it doesn't win you nothing long term?
No.
So is he gonna have to? Is he gonna have to go if he doesn't win anything? Like, where are Tottenham at? Because for me, he's an elite manager, and you know where I stand on him. But I think I'm hearing a lot from Tottenham fans getting annoyed winning games of football.
I don't say no as in the whole fan base, but I do think there's a strong section that one there's a small part that want him gone now, and there's another section that are only putting up with the style on the basis that it will win us something. Me, I don't sit in either of those camps, to be honest. I'm bored of the crybabies sometimes in our team. And I don't mean crybabies in the sense of, why are you moaning about the football? I think our fans have every right to moan about the football this season because it's not been good enough for the most part. And with the team we have available, we can definitely play better. But what I mean about crybabies is going to such extremes to the point where you're saying that you want a guy sacked after we've had our second best ever start to a Premier League campaign in the last couple of years or something like that. I think the most we've gathered at this stage of the season was something like 22 points. And I think if he wins his next game, that'll be either our second or first or outright best ever start to a Premier League campaign after 10 games. So for me, that's why I'm saying some of those fans are crybabies. Like, you can be critical of the football without being so knee-jerk, yeah? And on Conte as well, I fully expect him to find a way to get us playing better or get us playing back to the level that we thought we should be playing at. Get us playing to some of the way we've played, some of the games we played last season, because people are acting as if this isn't a world-class coach who can't find a solution. We went 5 losses in 7. And remember last season, all of the talk, Conte, he's going to walk out mid-season. And what did we do after that? We won 5 and 6. And off the back of a win against a tough opponent this season, the last thing I want to be hearing is about sustainability. You have seen this guy accumulate so many points in 2022, playing well in more matches than we have done playing poorly. Why do you not give him the grace period to expect to believe that he can make the football better whilst maintaining results? I'm tired of it, bro. I'm honestly tired of it. There's too many crybabies. And again, I must reiterate, I'm not saying you're a crybaby for wanting the better style of play. I'm saying you're a crybaby for wanting the man sacked. It's madness to me.
I agree with that, man. I do agree with that. And I think that he will start to get you playing, man. He will. It's never going to be attractive football. It ain't. But if it wins you a trophy, then they won't be crying. Trust me, Tobes. These fans are desperate for a trophy. They are desperate for a trophy. If it's a League Cup, if it's a FA Cup, if it's a Champions League, wow. Right? But he will get you something. I have no doubt about it, because that's what he's done everywhere, man. And I said this, when Tottenham got him, it won't be there long term. He will win them something 100%, man. I'm conscious of time, and I want to get the other two lads' opinions on West Ham and United. I'm going to start with United because, Dan, I know you've got to shoot in a minute. Man United, Ronaldo comes back, 700th goal, mate. Ten Hag decides to, go on then. Off you go, son. And he delivers. Roy Keane's a happy boy because he's saying for weeks and weeks now, play the guy. Don't put him on the bench. Don't embarrass him. He come on and did the business. What did you make of the game, man?
Good win, and I'll be honest with you. After the weekend prior to it, it was much needed. I didn't care how we did it. It was so important to get that 3 points, because it was atrocious. It was absolutely abysmal. But like I said off air, it's Man City. Man City are going to spank so many teams this season. They have they have questions all over that pitch. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying to watch. So with regards to Ronaldo, I still don't think he fits Ten Hag's system. I still don't think that. It's a massive point proven in that statement, in the fact that he started Martial over him. If Martial was fit, Ronaldo wouldn't have come on the pitch, I don't think. So it's amazing he got the 700th goal, but I still don't see Ronaldo being there at the end of the season. With regards to United's season, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving our season.
Still
I think
thinking
we're doing fantastic.
fourth. Still thinking fourth.
Why not? Why not? Honestly, I still back top four. I do absolutely back top four, and I think I'm justified. You can shake your head, Lawless. I think I'm justified.
Do you know what it is? It's that you can sit there and say we can get fourth, and that's all fine.
I've said it. I said it after Brentford smashed us, mate. I've said it all.
Well, no one jumps on Dan.
Yes, we have.
I've been jumped on.
Yes, we have. You said this in the past when you said you're not getting top four.
Yeah, no, you gave a little jump on it. You weren't
we
as
literally all jumped on him. So stop waffling again.
You want some
Stop
food?
your waffle.
Stop
lying. Stop lying. Dan United. When you said top four the first time and the second time, did you or did you not get rushed on this show?
Yeah, I got smashed.
No. I was given the most. Like Toes was like, oh, I don't think that you'll be getting fourth, Dan. I do not believe. But if you believe that, I respect your opinion, sir.
Where's
that was your energy.
That's his Japanese. That's his Japanese.
You've been practicing like a weirdo.
You're like weirdo. Listen, you're the one who don't know the difference between orange and brown. Yeah. Now we know why your football opinions are so trash, because you're clearly blind.
Who said orange? What are you talking about?
Because you said I was ginger, and clearly my hair is brown.
No, I was talking about your beard. I said you look a little bit like a ginger.
How can you say that? Forget that. I'm just saying, don't sit there, Dan. This is mainly at you to say, oh, it's deluded for you to think you can get sixth when you say you can get fourth, right?
We can get fourth.
All I'm saying is, glass houses.
You won't get fourth.
We will get fourth.
You
honestly, the more and more I'm watching this season,
who's missing out, Dan? Who's missing out?
Liverpool. I've said it. I'm saying Liverpool.
So what you think it'll be City, Spurs, Arsenal, and United?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah,
do you think you're better than Chelsea?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because I think we're more consistent.
Are you?
Yeah, I do. They sacked their manager. They sacked their manager after getting smashed and being so inconsistent throughout the season.
They sacked their manager, and they've got in a top manager now.
They have, but they're experienced in the banks.
They got a better squad than you.
They're experienced in the banks.
They got a better squad. They got a better squad than you. So, what is this opinion that you are more consistent than them? What's that based off?
Well, we've lost 3 times all season.
And yet they've got more points than you.
Yeah, because they played. I think they got a game in hand, haven't they?
No, they don't have a game in hand. They play the same games. They're above you. So
Chelsea have got a game in hand.
They got smashed 3-0 by Leeds and drew to
because I just think over the course of the season we'll be more consistent. I think Ten Hag has come in there. I think other than the fucking diabolical performance against City, I think we've looked a lot more solid playing these teams. We're grinding out results, and I don't think we've hit anywhere near where Ten Hag wants us to be playing football at the moment.
Grinding out results solid though? Would you say that's solid if you're grinding them out? It's not comfortable wins. You're scraping past these teams like the Evertons and that.
But yeah, I agree with that. But the last 2 years, when we've been up against it, we have lost. We have lost. And this going to Everton are shit, we know that. But we'd have lost there last season. We'd have lost there the season before. We're going and we're actually getting results. It's as simple as that. And over the course, United's biggest part, honestly, United's next 4 games is going to define their season. Simple as that. If we don't keep up in these next 4 games, we won't be anywhere near where we need to be. But I'm confident. Other than City, I look at the teams around us and I think, yeah, I don't see us losing against them. I don't. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't.
You're backing your team. Listen, you're backing your team, and that's what you're going for. You've done it from day one. Fair play to you. I don't think Man United are there yet either. I think there's still a lot to improve. I also think Chelsea ain't there. But when I look at what Potter is doing in the first couple of games, I still don't think Chelsea are going to be this shocking as they have been in the first few games. So I think it's going to be tight for top 4. And everyone has said it's going to be tight after City 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th is going to be mad. So, yeah, I think it will be like that. Lastly, West Ham, Lawless, I want to touch on your thoughts, because you're literally saying that sixth
Ain't we
place.
spoken West Ham Potts?
Say again.
I thought you spoke on West Ham. Did you not?
Well,
No, you
let's be
threw
honest.
your little comments out. That's not speaking on.
Come
West
on,
Ham,
guys.
a little
Champions
shade.
League is on, man.
Yeah. No,
We
no.
don't care for European
I'm gonna
competition.
finish
This
here.
is the prime time European competition. We don't care for
I'm
conference.
finished.
It's not even your team, man. Relax.
Conference League.
We don't care for
I'm
conference.
wanna
I'm
sit
finishing
there
on this one. I'm finishing on this one. Lawless, the reason I'm finishing on this one is because Lawless, you've said, and Dan, to be fair, both of you, sixth place, we're finishing above West Ham. West Ham, you've said we're finishing above Man United. You're giving everyone a little bit of a head start, Lawless, but you're catching up, man. Skamaka banging in goals, Moyes deciding to play players. You're still confident that you're gonna go for that sixth place, bro?
Yeah, look, I'm still confident. I'm not, like I said, I'm not fully convinced on us yet, even though we've won them 2 games and we're starting to look better. And Skamaka, massive difference.
He
As
is
I
looking
said,
decent. I like him.
yeah,
I do like him.
the way that he just improves the players around him. I said yesterday on the show, very Harry Kane-esque in the fact that he can do. He's more than just let me go up front and bang a goal in. Like, he can drop deep, he can pick up the ball, he can pass and move. He's quality. I think him and Paqueta are gonna be a big factor. And we're starting to finally create chances now. We had the most XG in the Premier League this weekend. If you like XG, if you're a fan of XG, we had the most of that. Take from that what you will, but we did. So yeah, we're looking better, but consistency is key. Southampton, we have to go and improve and build on that. So, and it's funny. Put the super chat. Put that super chat up, Potts, by the way, while we're at it. Let's.
That was what I was supposed to do, man.
Yeah.
Smokey, big up Dan and the man. Them still this for the second week. I'm going to ask the question. I love Lawless's opinions, but should a West Ham fan be on this panel?
Well, it's the race for Europe. We're in Europe. Are we not in Europe? Smokey, if you're still there, answer the question. Are we in Europe? Yes, we're 4 points off 6th currently, right now. So we're in the race. You can't say we're not. So look, and I said we went too early. Like, people were too busy, too quick to write us off. And I know, it's all banter, it's all fun and games, this, that, and the other. We started poorly, but now it looks like the new players are starting to gel. Paqueta, he come out and said he's starting to understand his teammates more. He's starting to understand when to make the passes, when they're timing their runs and things like that. He's starting to click more, and that's only going to improve. So I'm seeing signs of improvement, but I need to see it longer, man. I'm not here for this. Couple of games here, 1 game loss. Believe it or not, people on this panel will try and convince you otherwise. They'll try and twist things. I'm a realist, right? I'm a realist. I'm one of the grounded West Ham fans. I'm one of the ones who says it how it is.
Dan Lawless, realist.
Yeah, realist. Yeah. I'm the furthest from one of the deluded West Ham fans. People call me negative, right? And that's how people like Toad.
You are the most deluded West Ham fan I've ever met in my life.
Bullshit.
It's not bullshit. You are the most deluded West Ham fan.
So why?
I've ever met in my life.
Why do West Ham fans call me negative then? Why do I get called out for being negative? Tell me.
I don't know why you get called out for negative.
Because
I don't watch West Ham fans. You're not a realist. You're deluded.
What have I said that's deluded? Ever?
If I can't
Exactly.
be honest. We'll be here all night. We'll be here all night.
How long have we got? Yeah, man.
I'm just saying, right? I am up there as one of the most grounded, realist, balanced Arsenal fans. And Arsenal fans. It's all come out now. He's really an Arsenal fan. I'm like Lee Gunner. I hate Arsenal. But I'm an Arsenal fan. No, West Ham fan. I'm just saying. Like I said, I'm not convinced of West Ham yet. Is that not real? Is that not grounded? Where's the delusion in that? Am I getting carried away?
That's not deluded. That's not deluded.
Exactly.
That's fair.
See, Tobes talks nonsense. He will try and twist things. Tobes is a politician. He is a politician.
You literally just spoke like a politician for the last 2
Yeah.
minutes, Lawless. You literally just spoke like a politician. You looked in the camera.
Absolute,
You went close to
absolute
it.
numpty. I'm telling you,
Oh,
he just
days,
constant
Lawless.
waffling. The
I'm
biggest
not the
hypocrite I've ever met in my
politician, I do
life.
not
Can
speak
we stop
like
wasting time on this guy, please, Potter? Let's go watch Champions League.
Alright,
We
go-
have
go-
better
honestly.
things to
Go
do with
watch
our time.
better teams than you, play better football than you, and wish that you was playing that sort of football.
Well,
You
we're
go
in the
do that,
competition
bro.
that they're playing in, so I'll take that. Where are
Yeah,
you?
but now-
You're playing Thursday night against Vibrator United and fucking Cyborg Rovers. Get
We
out
beat
of here, man.
Anderlecht
Get
away.
out of here,
You
man,
had
please.
nothing to say.
Get out of
You
here,
had
please.
nothing to
Oh,
say
Get out of
about
here. You're
that,
going to be
did
watching
you?
Champions League as well. Get out of here, man. Nobody's
Anderlecht.
watching Conference League. You're going to be watching
And,
Champions League tonight. I'm not going to be watching Conference League. I can tell you that for free.
Anderlecht.
Cheeky
Did you watch,
sod.
did you watch the
cheeky,
Roma
cheeky
final?
sod.
Right,
What's
let's
the
get out of
Roma
here.
final?
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's go watch this, man. Listen, always a pleasure, Dan. Always a
Lawless,
pleasure,
Lawless, just a quick one, mate.
Always a pleasure, Tobes.
Anderlecht are 9th in their division, so let's not
So,
get too ahead of
listen,
ourselves.
Anderlecht, put respect on their name. They've produced some great players.
Oh,
over the years.
do you know what? Yeah, let's just respect Anderlecht so we can finish this stream. Jesus. Right, let's get the hell out of here, man. Always a pleasure with you guys. Smash a like on the way out. Subscribe. Do the thing. Go follow them and them. And we're out of here. Take it easy, guys.
Safe.